Hi Art 200, my name's Christina Becker, and for my final art project I've selected the topic of Cupid. Example 1. When I talk about Cupid, this is actually not the Cupid I'm discussing. However, this Cupid originates from the Cupid I'm going to talk about. Here's the first example. So let's begin. I'd like to discuss Cupid and his meaning. In Roman mythology, Cupid, which means desire, is the god of desire, affection, and erotic love. He's often portrayed as a chubby little boy, as you see, and he's known as the son of the goddess Venus, and rarely a father is mentioned about him. The Roman Cupid is portrayed as a chubby little boy who possesses a bow and arrow that represents a source of power. Whoever is shot by Cupid's arrow is filled with uncontrolled desire. So this painting here, this is actually my favorite. I don't know why I like it, but I do. I'm drawn to it. And it's kind of cute. It's by Lorenzo Lotto, and it's called Cupid and Venus. It's oil on canvas, and it was painted in 1540. And it's on display right now at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. So this picture, believe it or not, represents marriage. And it's hard to see, but Cupid is actually peeing on Venus. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Let's see. Can you see? He's peeing on her. Okay. So this picture celebrates marriage, and it has many things to do. It has a coiling serpent. It has this laurel wreath. It has the conch shell up here in the corner, and those are all symbols of sexuality, vitality, and happiness. But let's talk about Cupid urinating on his mother. What that symbolizes is, it's metaphorical for a sexual act, but it's one that is pure. Some have even argued that in this picture, Cupid is ejaculating through the garland wreath toward Venus, which is also signifying copulation. The garland of myrtle is a sacred place of marriage, and that's pretty much what this picture represents. So it's a little funny, especially with Cupid peeing, but I like it. Okay, so for my next picture here's another picture of Cupid. Again, chubby little boy. This is done in the Roman style. This painting is by Paris Bourdon. It was painted in the 1540s as well. It's also an oil on canvas, and then that's Venus as well, symbolizes Cupid's mother. And it's on display at the Museum Narodow in Warsaw. Okay. Now I'm gonna move this over just a second. My next example is in a book. So let me grab this. This big giant book, this was my grandma's book. She gave it to me. She was an artist. So this picture here, this is, can you see that? There. This picture is called The Garden of Love, and it is painted by Peter Paul Rubens. It was done between 1633 and 1634. It's also an oil on canvas, and it's on display at the Museum Nacional de Prado. So this one here, this is celebrating the marriage of, let me see, right here. This is the marriage. This is supposed to represent Mr. Rubens and Helen Formant, and that's his second wife. And this picture has many Cupids. I hope you can see this. We've got Cupids in the corner, right here, all over. And these Cupids, this one here is carrying a serpent, and we've got some of the Cupids carrying symbols. These are all of conjugal love, including a pair of doves, a yoke, several other symbols. But this celebrates the wedding. Okay, that's that one. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Next example. Okay, so now this is a Cupid as well, and this is a little bit different here. This Cupid, the Greek counterpart to Cupid is called Eros. So the Greeks portrayed him as a slender young youth. He's not the chubby little boy that the Romans portrayed Cupid as. So this example here, this is actually a famous statue of Eros. It's in Piccadilly Circus, and it's one of the symbols of London. It is also known as the Shaftesbury Monument, having been erected as a memorial to a philanthropist named Lord Shaftesbury. The actual figure is on top of a fountain, and the fountain is made of bronze, but this picture, or this sculpture, is actually made of aluminum. That was a really rare metal during the days. So, unfortunately, this fountain, well, it was unveiled in 1893, and it's been damaged a lot since then, and even now it's been vandalized. It was vandalized and damaged, and in 1994, a drunk visitor climbed to the top and damaged the figure, bending it. So that's kind of sad. Okay. So here is another portrait. This one here, again, this is the Greek Cupid. Again, a young boy. This one is, let me see, sorry. This one here is also oil on canvas. Whoops. Okay. It's on display at the Stadtliche Museum in Berlin, and it's called Amor Vincit Amnia. It was in 1602, 1603, and this is just cute. There's a lot of controversy about this because they say his genitalia is just out there and showing, but I like it. Okay, and here again. So the story about Cupid goes that, well, Cupid was always shooting his arrow at others, and they were falling in love. But Cupid accidentally shot himself one day, but actually it wasn't intentional. So there's a story to that. Cupid, who ends up his own victim in this case, well, his mother Venus becomes very jealous of a beautiful young girl named Psyche, and she's so beautiful that the people throughout the land all worship her beauty. So Venus, who is Cupid's mother, plots to ruin Psyche. She instructs Cupid to pierce Psyche with an arrow and make her fall in love with one of the most hideous men alive. But it backfires, and when Cupid sees Psyche's beauty, he shoots himself with the arrow and he falls in love with her. So this portrait here, this is really basically just, it's painted by Angelica Kaufman. It was done in 1792, and this shows a side of Cupid and Psyche that you usually don't see, because they've gone from a stage of lust to a stage of just pure love. And it shows their two souls united in love. Okay. And that's it for my presentation. Here's my reference list. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.